What's up, guys? Wiley Lewis here of the Fast Break Kids, talking some NFL Week 12 action. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I don't know why I didn't yet, but there's a lot to talk about. I'm probably not going to be able to talk about everything that went on because there's too much. There's always too much to talk about when it comes to the NFL. But we're going to get to a few things and talk about some of the games that happened today and just kind of an overall look at how I feel the NFL is moving towards with the playoffs coming up. You are looking at the sad remains of a once proud Jacksonville Jaguars fan. Folks, the loss to the Bills is probably the lowest point right now in the season. Um, I've tried to defend them and say, hey, you know what? This team has still got the skills. We're still good enough to be able to move back into the playoff picture. And then they go to Buffalo and they just drop a turd right on it. And the score, yeah, it was close. It was close, and it was really close when Leonard Fournette decided to just fight the Buffalo Bills and get kicked out of the game. That was a real backbreaker right there because it was a tie ball game, and you're at the 1 yard line, ready to take the lead after the first half was pretty disastrous, especially the first quarter. And for him to go out there and get thrown out was just ridiculous and a boneheaded move. You got the Jaguars, who are already struggling. We don't need that. And for us to go out and lose to Josh Allen and the Bills, and you know what? Here's the deal. People are going to be like, hey, Jalen Ramsey, what an idiot for talking trash about Josh Allen. What about Josh Allen now? He's not so trash. Let me tell you something. No, he's trash. He's not that good. Okay, he had maybe one or two good throws. Granted, the bomb was beautiful. He had a 75-yard bomb. He stayed in the pocket, took a huge hit, and threw it right on the money. It was fantastic. That being said, he did not look good. He didn't look good, Jared. Did not look good, Josh Allen. But despite that, the stinky winky Bills beat evidently the stinky winky Jaguars. And so now I have to sit here and just my own Jaguars fan just filth. Yeah. And there's nobody here to share it with me because there are no Jaguars fans out there outside of maybe the state of Florida. And even then, you still got to go closer to Duval County just to find those fans. And so watching that was really hard.
Robert Duvall has his own county?
Robert Duvall has his own county. He is the mayor of Jacksonville. No.
You know, he was in To Kill a Mockingbird. He was Bo Radley.
Yeah.
Spooky looking guy back in the day.
Very, very spooky. Almost as bone chilling as the Bills beating the Jaguars today. And enduring that. That being said, people are going to come out and say, oh, this is why they need to get rid of Blake Bortles. This is why they need to move on and get rid of him. I'm going to tell you something right now. You ready for this, Jared? I'm going to tell you something right now. It is not Blake Bortles' fault, okay? Yes, you know what? Yes, he is not very good. He's not great. He's not a great quarterback. He's not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's not Russell Wilson. You know what? He's not even, a Phillip Rivers, okay? And we'll get to Phillip in just a little bit. But for crying out loud, guys, they've lost 3 offensive line starters, including their best offensive lineman, Cam Robinson, their left tackle, who's kind of important because that's the most important offensive line position. You got to protect the blind side. Sandra Bullock.
I never saw that movie.
Never saw that movie? You never saw The Blind Side?
Was it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Didn't it win a Grammy?
It won a Tony. But I think the mic is going to make sure.
Is it like wearing a hairpiece? It looks like wearing a hairpiece.
A hairpiece?
Yeah, my hair looks weird, dude.
I don't think it looks like you're wearing a hairpiece.
Well,
but anyways, they lost offensive lineman. Fournette's been out for like the whole season. The wide receivers stink. If you watch any Jaguars game, which if you're watching this, you probably don't. because nobody watches the Jaguars. And then everybody comes out of the woodworks and is like, you know what's wrong with the Jaguars? Let me tell you what's wrong with the Jaguars. Nobody really knows what's wrong with the Jaguars because nobody pays attention to the Jaguars. They just see the team, they see the score, they see the stats, and they make their own decisions based off of that. But you know what? You don't see all the dropped passes. You don't see the messed up routes that they're running. You don't see the actual, catch. He caught the ball. Sweet. 15-yard gain. Oh, he fumbled it. Game over. I don't know how many times I've seen those guys finally catch it and then they fumble it away and it just ruins the team. And then it makes Blake Bortles look bad. And I'm just sick of it, Jared. I'm sick of it. All right. And if we are going to sit here and criticize Blake Bortles, then why aren't we sitting here and criticizing Matthew Stafford? Matthew Stafford has done absolutely nothing. He's done nothing with the Lions. He went to the playoffs maybe a couple of times. He just threw the Thanksgiving game away. If you watched that Thanksgiving game just a few days ago, he literally threw it away. Tie ball game, 16-all with a couple minutes to go, and he throws a pick six going the other way, and then they somehow still bring it together, march down the field, and he throws a pick in the end zone. Rip to Fat Stafford and his career in Detroit. And that's not me saying I think Matt Stafford stinks. But if we're going to put blame on Blake Bortles for not being better, then you know what? We should put some blame on Matthew Stafford because he hasn't even sniffed the playoffs in the past few years. He won't even come close to an NFC championship the way he's been playing and that team has been playing defensively, running the ball, and passing the ball. All right? So don't get me going on Blake Bortles because I just went on about him for about 2 minutes and you got me going. I got myself going.
Uncle Joe made a good point today. He said, I guess Calvin Johnson was a real deal.
Calvin Johnson, yeah. He certainly was a real deal.
He made Fat Stafford look like
Megatron. Golly.
I think he was coming up.
Yeah.
And he wasn't.
No. It's and that's not to say I don't think Matt Stafford stinks.
No, I think he's
but it's this whole we don't know what we want to grade these guys on. If they don't have good stats but they win, he's not good enough. He's not getting the stats. Look at his stats. He's got unbelievable stats, but his team's not winning. He's doing everything he can. It doesn't matter. He didn't get the W.
Your stats.
He didn't get the W. Tony Romo could not avoid that. Tony Romo did everything he could. He carried that team, get amazing stats, march them down the field all the time with crappy defenses. And what happens? They still couldn't go to the Super Bowl, so he's a loser because he didn't go to the Super Bowl. So we got to figure out what it is that we're deciding to grade these guys on and then come to a conclusion. It's like trying to figure out what a catch is.
Hey, check it out.
What?
Bad Statsford.
Bad Statsford. That would work if he actually had bad stats. He actually usually has pretty good stats. But
shoot.
Moving forward, because I'm not going to talk about the Jaguars anymore. I've been talking to them for the whole 8 minutes so far. Let's talk about the Chargers-Cardinals. Actually, no, I want to stick with the morning games. A couple of shockers. First of all, Browns walk into Cincinnati and just blow the Bengals out of the water. Holy smokes. Rip to the Bengals. Is Marvin Lewis ever going to get fired at this point? Does he have some sort of incriminating evidence on the entire organization to the point where they're like, we literally can't get rid of Marvin Lewis?
He's got the poop.
He's got the straight poop.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it has to be, honestly, because there's nothing else that makes sense.
It's kind of like the WWE with Florida Georgia line.
Yeah.
Like clearly somebody owes somebody there because there's no way that
Florida Georgia line is that popular.
It's that good to play that many different times.
Like they take them over other people.
Yeah.
It's them, Flo Rida,
mm-hmm.
and Machine Gun Kelly. Those are the three people, the three groups that they get to do any sort of wrestling event.
They probably do it pro bono. They probably be wrestling fans.
Maybe. Let's move forward, okay? Browns, Bengals. I like Baker Mayfield. I always liked him. I thought he was the best quarterback coming out of college. I thought, man, rip to his career already. He's going to Cleveland. I'm still not going to say he's going to be super successful there, but he looks good right now, and they're building a strong team. Nick Chubb looks awesome. The defense is really stout, and they're building a lot. I mean, you get enough first-round draft picks. Eventually, you'd hope that the team would be good. So, on the flip side, Cincinnati, man, I feel terrible. I picked them to win their division. They started out really good. Pittsburgh looked bad. Baltimore didn't look good. The Browns were obviously soggy and just terrible. So I thought, man, this Bengals pick is going to turn out real well.
Soggy Brown sounds like a fictional, like funk singer.
Soggy Brown.
Blues man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Soggy Brown. So yeah, the Bengals now moved to 5-6. Sad days ahead for them. Andy Dalton got hurt in the loss. It was at home. It was embarrassing. The defense can't stop anybody. They've already fired their defensive coordinator. It's really sad.
Was their defensive coordinator Soggy Brown?
No. I think they might hire Soggy Browns after this. Anything would be better than what they've been doing lately because the Browns absolutely trounced them. Let's talk about the Patriots and Jets. Just kidding. I don't want to talk about the Patriots and the Jets. I don't want to talk about this matchup that featured like the oldest two quarterbacks to go against each other in like a decade. That was the most interesting part of this game. Jets always keep these games close, but you know that they're not going to win them. You know they're not going to beat the Patriots. It won't happen. But Patriots, yeah, they're good. They're going to do their thing. Gronkowski's back. He looked robo-armed. Gronkowski, good. He took a couple of shots, and he stayed in there. Edelman's doing his Edelman things. He's gritting. He's grinding. He's doing his thing. I mean, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. I don't know who's going to beat them. I know people are going to say the Chiefs, maybe the Chargers, maybe the Steelers. I don't know if any of those teams really can. But it depends on how healthy the Patriots are and if their defense can be decent. If they're decent, you have the best quarterback ever on the other side, so you're usually pretty good. Eagles, Giants. Hey, Jared, did you know the Eagles and the Giants played today? Yeah, nobody cared about that game. Eagles win. 3-point victory over the Giants, who all of a sudden the Giants were like kind of looking good. Eli Manning looked like a decent quarterback. I think decent is as far as I'll go talking about Eli Manning. He scorched the 49ers the other night, but that's no fun because everybody scorches the 49ers. You know, the Cardinals have 2 wins this year. Both wins are against the 49ers. That's what I'm talking about. Way to go, Sam Fran. Sam Fran going for that number 1 pick. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I don't
But they have the Golden Gate Bridge.
They do have the Golden Gate Bridge.
What's bigger than that? What's bigger than the Golden Gate Bridge?
Golden Grams.
It's
a golden idea.
That's true. You get enough of them together. Cardinals, you know what? Cardinals have the Grand Canyon, though. Golden Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon's been around a lot longer, and it's way bigger.
Yeah. That's why they beat them.
That's why they won both times. Giants, Eagles, I don't like either of them. Eagles get to 5-6 after they got absolutely obliterated last week by the Saints, who look like easily the best team in the league right now. I think as open as the NFC East is, I don't think Philly takes it. I think they're just still kind of broken. And Carson Wentz doesn't look as good as he was last year. I think he's still recovering. The report's saying that he's still not fully recovered from the ACL tear. So, I think for the former champs, the defending champs, I don't think they're going back to the playoffs, but that's just me. 49ers, Buccaneers. I don't need to really discuss this. We just talked about how bad the 49ers are. Sorry, Adrian. The Buccaneers, what a saga. I tweeted this out last week. The Buccaneers are like this amazing car crash that you just can't look away from.
It's like a 30-car pileup.
You can't look away from it. And it's just as you keep driving, it's just still more carnage.
It's like Katamari.
And
just keeps picking things up, and it's like this
Right.
Sized.
It's amazing. I mean, you start with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay. Ryan Fitzpatrick starting because Jameis is suspended. Okay. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzmagic, he looks amazing in the first 2.5 games. Then he looks not so good. And then they're like, okay, Jameis, you're back in. They're bringing him back. Okay. And it's like, welcome back, Jameis. What happens?
Is it Jameis in the locker room?
Jameis, seriously, in the locker room, getting ready for that Week 6 game, whatever it was. What does he do? He plays decent, and then the next week, he's awful. Just terrible. So then what did they do, Jared? Ryan Fitzpatrick,
it's magic, baby.
Bringing him back.
Hey, can we talk about for a second how proud I am of everybody being realistic about Fitzmagic, including Ryan Fitzpatrick? He was like,
oh, he was living it up. He was like, this thing is going away pretty quickly.
He's a genius. He had to have known it was going to come back.
Harvard. You know, we have Jameis Winston starting again today against the 49ers. What happened? He looked great. 300 yards, couple touchdowns. He's bombing it to Mike Evans. It looks great. We'll see what happens next week. They're 4-7. They're not going anywhere anytime
Make a lobster joke. Obligatory.
I'm beyond lobster jokes, Jared. We're past that. All right? I'm not that guy at the party who's out of touch. Okay? Seahawks, Panthers.
Jameis loves crustaceans. He loves crustaceans. What, you know what his favorite period is? The crustaceous period. Because he just loves it. That's obligatory. Keep going.
Russell Wilson is good. He is good. He is so outrageously good. And somehow this Seahawks team finds themselves still in the playoff hunt after basically they're rebuilding. They're basically rebuilding, and yet Russell Wilson and just chomping and chewing Pete Carroll find their way into the playoff picture again, beating a Panthers team that is so forgettable. You almost think that they're just some created team on Madden and they're not real.
You know what James Winston's favorite character on The Simpsons is?
Who?
Krusty the Clown.
Krusty the Clown.
He loves those
crustaceans.
Crustaceans, crusty dog. I'm sorry, keep going. I won't think of any more. I'll stop thinking.
Yes, you will. You are thinking about it right now. You are formulating more crustacean jokes. Panthers, Panthers forgettable. Panthers are going to try to make a run at the playoffs. Even if the Panthers make the playoffs, let me tell you something. Panthers got second round exit written all over them. Cam Newton is great. Christian McCaffrey has looked spectacular this year. You always got a solid defense backing them up. I just don't think they have the stuff. They just don't. Obviously, looking at today's game, they couldn't put away the Seahawks, and it's a Seahawks team that's flawed. They're running it better. Chris Carson looks like a beast. They have 3 guys that they've been shuffling in and out, and they all looked good at moments of the season. But you still have to beat that team at home. This is a huge game, and now they've got the edge. If they end with the same record, Seahawks are getting in ahead of the Panthers, and that one's going to hang with you. Raiders, Ravens. The Raiders suck. As bad as the Jags have looked this year, and they have looked very bad. They just lost to the Bills. And as bad as some of these other teams have looked, the Raiders are just bad. And they just won last week, but they still look bad. And then you got David Carr getting hurt. You got Derek Carr, David Carr and Derek Carr.
Dude, that's how relevant they are.
Brothers.
I forgot Derek Carr's name. Except you didn't forget the name of my special Johnny boy.
Johnny boy?
My special Johnny boy?
John Gruden?
John Gruden.
Chucky, if you will.
Yep.
Man, that guy's really cashing in on this coaching job, but he's going to take a beating from the press. They've got a lot of top picks, so there's a lot to be optimistic about. If you're a Raiders fan, not necessarily if you live in Oakland, because the Raiders are leaving after this year.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas.
Gruden's rolling all the dice.
Yeah, something in my eye, man.
Craps.
Craps.
Let's just hope he doesn't crap out.
What an interesting idea having a professional team in Las Vegas. I'm not going to go into that, but
Dude, the Oakland Craps.
I feel so bad for Oakland just getting trashed. Like, this is their farewell season.
Do you think Marshawn's gonna play?
No, he's IR.
No, but like, you think he's gonna like continue after this season?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe one more year to see what it's like in Vegas.
I mean, like, okay, because I mean, like, I know Oakland's his home.
That's true. It will be interesting to find out. I mean, the Raiders seem like they're trying to just get rid of everybody and just redo everything. I hope they do not get rid of Derek Carr. I think they need to keep him. I think he's very good. He's just, the team is just bad. They're just bad. Steelers Broncos actually just finalized just a few minutes ago. Broncos inexplicably beat the Steelers. Broncos are good again, I guess. The Broncos just kind of like woke up and said, hey, we're going to beat the Chargers. And then we're going to beat the Steelers, Steelers got 7 wins, 7-3-1 now.
You know who else woke up?
Who woke up?
The Legion of Broncos fans.
The Legion of, yeah, seriously.
Dormant Broncos fans.
Is Oweh playing? The Broncos, they've always had a great defense, and they ride that defense. Case Keenum plays. He's been playing good enough. That's what they paid him for. They didn't bring Case Keenum in to say, hey, you know what, Case? We need you to carry this team. We need you to win games for this team. No, they brought Case Keenum in to play good football. Good, solid, smart football. And that's what he's been doing the last couple of games. And he's looked smart, and he's looked good. He's making smart audibles at the line. He is staying in the pocket. He's making great throws. So if I'm Denver, I'm pretty excited right now. Not too excited, but pretty excited about how the team looks right now. They're young, they're fast, they're hungry, they're running the ball well, and this good things are in store for Denver if they can keep this momentum going. I don't know if they make the playoffs this year. I don't think they will. 5-6. You never know. You got the Ravens, who have Lamar Jackson starting. The Dolphins just threw one away to the Colts. And the AFC South in general just slipping backwards into wins, except for Jacksonville. The only team that can't buy a win. Everybody else is just getting handed gift wrap W's at their front porch. I don't have anything. I don't have any bias here.
I don't think it's bias as much as it's just bitterness.
Yeah.
It's just bitter.
No, I'm bitter. I am bitter right now because I thought, hey, this is the year Jaguars take the next step. Man, I hated the Dante Moncrief pickup. I don't care if he made that catch today. Hated that pickup. They picked up Andrew Norwell to solidify the running game. And you know what? He's been banged up, and he hasn't been as good as we thought. The offensive line has been buns, and I'm talking about the Jaguars again. I need to stop.
They made one Neil Armstrong-sized step backwards for all of mankind.
All of mankind.
Let the big old moon.
So let's just talk about the standings for a second. I'm going to talk about the standings for a second and kind of get an overview of what I feel like. I feel like the playoffs are going to work out here. Okay, so take my word for it. I watch a lot of football. I try to keep up. So I'm not making just guesses here. I am making some pretty good assumptions and predictions, I think. Some of my preseason predictions don't go so well, but there's a lot that goes into those and a good reason why they don't work out. So I'm looking at the AFC first off. Obviously, Patriots taking that division like we predicted at the beginning of the year. Dolphins just floundering and flopping their way. They were 4-2, I think, at one point, and now they're 5-6. It's pretty dreadful over there. Everybody wave goodbye to Adam Gase. Wave goodbye because he's out of there. Buffalo, go die. No. Whatever. The Jets, terrible. Sam Darnold was injured today. They had Josh McCown, who's like 1 billion years old in football years. But, you look at the North, Baltimore's not catching the Steelers. Baltimore's too young, especially with Lamar Jackson taking over. He's played pretty well. He's got 2 wins under his belt, but Steelers are good enough to hold on there, especially with Cincinnati flopping. AFC South is a joke. I'm going to say that right now. Houston, Indianapolis, Tennessee, Jacksonville, joked. Even the Texans. I don't care if the Texans have won 7 straight. I really don't care. They're going to go in the playoffs. They're not going to beat anybody. They're just not. As good as the defense is, and as good as Hopkins is, DeAndre's amazing. And yeah, I like Deshaun Watson. I don't think he's as good as everybody thought he was last year. I think he's starting to come back down to earth because people are trying to figure him out now. They figured him out. But they're not going to beat the Chiefs. They're not going to beat the Chargers. I don't think they'll beat the Chargers, as chargery as the Chargers can be. I'd take the Steelers over them. I'd take the Patriots over them. I mean, I might even take the Broncos over them. I don't know. I don't like the Texans, and it's me being totally, completely biased. For the AFC playoff picture, Patriots, Steelers, Texans, Chiefs, Chargers, and then I don't know who takes that last wild card spot. That wild card spot is, man, I mean, the Ravens, I'll say the Ravens get it, even though the Colts will probably get it because they got that stupid horseshoe on the side of their helmets, and they're just going to luck their way into that last playoff spot. NFC, I had the Eagles taking that division. I don't think there will. They're only a game behind, so it's not like it's the end of the world. I'm going to stay with the Cowboys, though. I like the way the Cowboys look right now. Amari Cooper has provided a burst of energy for that offense. I think Dak Prescott is like, whoa, I have someone I can depend on and throw to who's like actually really talented and not just a hard worker. Ezekiel Elliott, he's just going to get yards. He's just going to chew them up and spit them out, and they're just going to grind you. If the defense plays well, I think the Cowboys are really ready for a big second half of the season if they can stay healthy and Amari Cooper can play the way he's been playing the past couple of games. And that's not even saying his stats. He doesn't have to get 180 yards and 2 touchdowns every game, but he's just opening things up for the offense. You can see that. Chicago, that NFC North, I mean, Chicago just has such a big lead at this point that they'll take the division. I don't buy them as a real contender, per se. I think they're still a little ways off. I think Trubisky's nice, but he's not that good. The defense is very good, obviously. Saints, best team in the league right now. Best team in the league. I don't want to sound cliche or no, they're the best team in the league right now. Rams, second best team in the league right now. They proved that when they played a couple weeks ago against the Saints, the second best team. And they're just scary. And I said it at the beginning of the year, and I'm going to say it again. They have to go to the Super Bowl. They have to. That's what all these moves were for, to go to the Super Bowl. Not to be good, not to just make it to the playoffs, not to just make it to the NFC Championship, but to get to the Super Bowl and win it all now because they're ready to win now. So that's going to be an interesting race. I think from a wild card standpoint, I think Seahawks and Vikings get in. And, I'm looking – the big question I have, and then I'll finish on this because I'm approaching 30 minutes. The biggest question I have in this league right now, because I was asking myself, I was looking at the standings, and I was asking myself this one question. What is the best division in the league? Because there is not a single league, if you look at it top to bottom, where you say, that's the league that's just better than everybody else's. There's none of that. Every division has a stinky team. Every division seems to have somebody who's just disappointing, and every division has a pretty solid lead at the top, except for your NFC East. And I'm sitting here thinking, I don't know. I honestly don't know. If I had to pick one, I would say the AFC West because of how good the Broncos have looked lately. And because they've got 2 teams that have at least 8 wins. So that would be my pick, but they're not even overwhelmingly that great. I think the Chargers are fantastic, but they're still the Chargers. So watch out for not San Diego, LA. Watch out for them to do a little Chargery stuff, some kicking issues in the playoffs maybe. But That's what I see right now. That's what the league's looking like to me on my end. If you see otherwise, please let me know in the comment section. Please check me out next week because I'm going to hop on again and do more live streaming after these games end and just talk football because I really want to talk to you guys too. I don't want to sit here and just talk by myself. Join the chat, join the discussion, hit me up, let me know what you got. If you got questions, ask me questions. I know I'm a dude sitting here in this room, in this dungeon looking thing, in the lab, if you will. But I have watched a lot of football. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge to give. If you got questions or if you just want my opinion, you can just get my opinion. Bounce it off me. I love talking to you guys. Let me know. Before we go, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. We got our new milestone that we want to hit 150 followers by the end of December, at the end of 2018. We're going to do a giveaway if we can hit that 150 by December 31st. So we're very excited about that. Also, we're moving. We're moving locations. We'll still be doing some videos here, but we'll also be at a different location as well. Very excited about that. Very pumped. So be sure to stay updated. We'll be updating you with that. Should happen in the month of January. So starting the new year out with a different coat, if you will, for the show. And like I said, like, subscribe, tell everyone you know. Catch us next time. We're always putting out videos. Let us know what you like, what you see, what you want to hear from us, what you want us to play. But seriously, guys, thank you so much. We love you guys. I'm Wiley for Jared. This has been the Fast Break Kids. Keep it clean, keep it fresh, keep it fun. We'll see you next time.